everyone, and I hope you can listen to me. Today's the topic is anger, and hello, sir. The topic being anger, and as we all know that nowadays we are finding different manifestation of anger. It's not only about depicting how we are experiencing whatever is happening around us, but we are also internalizing. So anger is basically now very target oriented. Hi Uneza. Okay, would you like to join in? And hi Mirza Sabur, and we're talking about anger. I am telling you that nowadays we are looking as anger being very loosely associated and very easily associated with ourselves, because there is so much happening around. Walaikum Assalam, and I hope you all are doing good and not angry at all. I am on time, as I said, at 9 p.m. And the topic which I feel I should be addressing is this anger part, because I have recently started replying on Quora, and there are so many questions, in and around anger, depression, self-harm, that it is like a concern for me as a person. I am really concerned about all the youngsters right now, because this is not what we are looking up for the coming generation. Anger is a very normal emotion, a very normal feeling. It is one of the feeling besides like other feeling that we all are equipped with. Globally, we will find people having all the emotions equally. It's not that one type of people are going to have only one set of emotion. We all are born with all the normal and common emotions. Then it is, why is it that some people, demonstrate only particular emotion negatively? This is very important, because we do see some people not showing anger. There may be some cousins or relative of yours who seemed to be very calm. So it's not that they don't get angry, it's just that they have directed their response part into something wherein they can handle it internally. Because the two important area wherein we see anger is deflected to is, one is outside. We are verbally or we are physically demonstrating ourselves as being upset about something, or we are internalizing and we are not showing it to somebody. In both the cases, we are doing some form of damage. It's not right, it's not good for us if we are not doing it in a healthy way. I want to highlight right now that anger is really, we should learn from anger actually, and how we can learn is, see, it's so specific oriented. It knows exactly which type of response to bring in you. Sometimes people really get very angry and they are highly motivated to complete a task. For example, you would see that you are very angry, somebody said something, you are triggered, and lo and behold, all the work is completed in a very short span of time. The same work you may be procrastinating and doing it for a longer period of time, or you've not yet finished it. So anger will escalate you to motivate you to do it, but it will burn. It adds up and comes up with a cost. So your work will be completed. Maybe you go and clean up your almirah, the cupboard, or your house. You will see yourself doing an amazing job. So it's like, again, we need to learn from anger. how quickly we can finish it. Why do we need to give that price for it wherein that emotion is freely available with us? The second thing is, see, it improves your memory also. And now you will be wondering, how is it, improving your memory? Now consider this, any situation in your life wherein you got angry or somebody got angry from you. Look at the words they said. You will exactly remember closely what they had said. Your memory is sharp. You retain the words like from, quote unquote, whatever was said to you, because you are going to feed on it. You are going to invest your own time and thought for it, right? So it's like you are investing those moments for yourself. Again, it's coming with a cost. When you are angry, your memory is improved in the sense you retain whatever is said. Why not we learn from this emotion to retain other things in a healthy way? It is quite possible. The next thing that I can say about anger, and we should learn from it, is again, it's a signal for us, when we are angry. It is like, it's only a superficial reaction for us. Somewhere deep down, if we look, we may be hurt by somebody doing or saying something to us. We may be frustrated with our own self. Oh, I could have done this. I was not able to do it at that point of time, so I am angry. I expected something from somebody, at least a praise or acknowledgement part, that did not happen, wherein for the same thing somebody else got the appreciation part, So that thing is happening and we may end up getting upset, which is another form of anger. So we are upset, now it is with our own self because the element of expectation is there. So the pain is there, that is the deeper layer. We represent it in the form of anger. Why not we do the work without the attachment of expectation and avoid that pain part? We do whatever we can do. So we have to learn from anger that we are not supposed to tie up expectation element with it. When we don't apply it, we will just retain that emotion as it is, because it's preparing us to face the situation. When people are saying something to you, you're getting triggered. You need to find out why you're getting triggered. And it's not easy to find out at times. It's very, very difficult, because we are human beings. We interact with people. When we are interacting with people and there are relationship angle attached with it, we will not acknowledge that we are at fault at some time, because then it's like, I am right, the other person is not right, or I am right and I acknowledge that if I am not right also, but the other person is not on the same page to acknowledge my own thing, my own feeling, So it's like I am left on my own, and that is when you are emotionally opened up, wherein that care part is not available. Especially we also see that when there are parents, and you have an environment wherein you were not allowed to express, because in a relationship this similar thing is happening with different degree. When in your household you see that you are not able to express your anger part, you are not listened, so you are angry. Your viewpoint is important, but it is not listened due to some reason, because the parents are parents, they come up with that PDF file of their own. So whatever the situation, you are not heard, and this is not the first time. It is happening again and again. So what is happening is you are building up that resent part in yourself. You start comparing yourself. The moment somebody in the house expresses, and they express with anger, they want to voice out, and they are listened and calmed down. So again the comparison element has come up, and your emotion is not attended to. So somewhere when you grow up, you feel that urge to vent out your emotions. So you're angry. You're not angry because of you're born with it. You're just angry and you want to just communicate with people and you don't know any other way how to communicate. This is it. So it is like we need to learn from our anger. Okay, there is this pain. When I get angry because of that pain, then only I can express what I'm truly feeling. It gives me that space for expression. What we need to learn is we need to live in the moment. Who are we expressing with? That pain part. Because of that pain part, you are expressing anger on somebody else. So if you have unresolved issues of your past, of your life, which made you really in that zone of hurt and a lot of pain, and it is possible, it's quite possible, please consult a therapist, because you will be addressing that issue and not mixing that issue with your current life, because that current life is your new life. You don't need to bring on the past pain and inculcate it into your expressive form. You can be a wonderful person, but because of the unresolved issue, you are angry and upset. And that is not a very healthy way of expressing, because anger is going to affect and has affected people in mainly 4 areas. It's like, your career will get affected by it. Your relationship will be getting affected by anger part if it's not in a good direction. You may also feel that anger is hampering your personality part, because this is not what you really want to be, and you may realize it internally. You don't want to get angry. I mean, you are just upset about something, but it just escalates and goes out of your hand. That is because of the pain which is not resolved at the right time. So it could be because of that. So anger is again a very important emotion in you. It can give you a clue about your own personality. Whether you want to go ahead in life, whether you want to just stagnate in your life, it will give you a clue. If you are, in that loop of getting angry, because again, if somebody, suppose for example at home you are there and you have your siblings or your parents are there, and you feel angry about the same habitual thing, somebody touched something, or the food is not served on the right time, like whatever is needed for you, you may get upset. Why should you get upset? Take 2 steps back, because those are the triggers for you. Why do you want to associate that? Now it can reflect to a memory of yours. So it's giving you a clue to pause and address your issue, because you are moving ahead in life. You cannot drag yourself and be very active in future. You need to have those light steps in future. You need to feel that presence of your own self with your own self at the right time, So anger will give you a clue to your own personality. Please address the issue. If there is pain in your life, if there are some unresolved issues in your life, resolve it. Find out if it's leading to your triggers. If it is, again, give time to it and resolve it. Because if not addressed on time, it will manifest itself into other health complications. You may have, increased heartbeat or blood pressure, or you may have shortness of breath. Anything can happen. Or out of this anger, which is again in repeated mode, and because you cannot channelize it, you may end up into rage, and in fight, you may harm yourself and the other person. Again, you are putting a risk factor for your life. Why? Pause. This is your life. If you are getting angry, please pause. Look into the reason why you are getting angry. Because anger has a lot of benefit if you can channelize it properly. As I had just said, it is very much target oriented. I just spoke about it. It gives you a very sharp memory also, which is amazing. Again, it will give you a clue to your personality. If it will direct you from the loop from pain to right now, getting angry and activated. Rather than doing, coming from the past, you should avoid the further pain, resolve the issue right now. So you will not be jumping into the future wherein you will add on another element of pain in your life, which is not needed. Life is beautiful and I'm sure you all have a beautiful life. So stick with it. And the other thing is, it moves you into some space wherein you can acknowledge your own self, identify your own self. If somebody says something and you know they are right, and somewhere they have corrected you, you may go like a level up in response part in your tone, which shows that you are not agreeing with them. That shows that somewhere that irritation is setting in. Irritation again is an element of anger. It is another word for anger, but in a very subtle way. Repetitive irritation will escalate and you will feel very, very upset. Upset again is another form of anger. So there are different forms of anger. Frustration, I had said. Irritation, here it is. Then it's like you are not happy about something, so there is a displeasure about anything happening around you. So that again is a form of anger. You are really furious, again a form of anger, which is because you are not able to control right now. It is now slipping from your own hands, like you're literally donating that presence of yours into that future pain, that cycle that I've just said, that you need to pause the moment you realize that your anger is coming from some form of pain which is set in the past. So you need to realize that part, address it before you add on another pain part in your life. So anger is again then fury. It is again rage part. And the most interesting thing is you are actually harming yourself because your liver will be getting affected. So as I said, if you don't channelize your anger, you don't find the triggers and find resolution for it, there is always an answer, I would say, for all types of anger. There is always a way out. You need to find out. If you cannot find out, please connect, because you need to do your part. It's not like, of course you can Google up how to manage anger management. Many blogs are there. What is relatable to you in your life, that will be different. What is your nature, that will be different. At home, people are there and they have their own personality. Now everything is interacting, Anger will bound up to come up because you're not getting that space to be listened to. So that will come up. And it is a very natural and common thing. It's not only in India that we find that. It's all over the world. People do such, let's say, adverse effect they take, extreme steps they take because they are angry. How come they reach that stage? It's not easy to reach that stage in one day. It needs that building up time. So now is the time. Today, if you listen to this and if you find anger as an emotion in yourself, pause, wait and look back. Why are you angry? Because it will manifest itself into other health issues. That should not be there. Address the why part. There is always a solution. You can ask me, provided you are ready to face yourself. You need action to be done. Action to be taken actually. So the action has to be done actually by you. So that is about anger, and it's like also anger. I was just reading about anger, and very interesting words came up about anger in Merriam-Webster dictionary. I'll just read out to them, and probably I'll post it along with the link in my upcoming post. I'll just read it. The 10 words for being angry is go ballistic, Het Up, Orey Eyed, Wrathy, Ropable. Ropable is used mostly in Australia. Shirty is mostly used in Britain. Stomachful, Umbrageous, Afroth, hot under the collar. These are other phrases that is used for being angry. Like it made me knowledgeable. I thought I'll just share it with you. And you can even type up 10 angry words in Merriam-Webster. You'll find out the actually definition and the relatable example with it. So that is about anger right now. If any one of you have any question, please do ask. Or what I can do is I can come up after 5 minutes if at all you have questions. I received a question, and it is about children and anger. What do I have to say about it? Okay, it's like, when children are born, they are born with some basic emotions, and when they look up at the parents, they absorb what they are observing. That is how they are listening, People look at you and then they know, okay, this is the way that one should express. They learn that thing. Sometimes you may see when grown up, they always talk in a loud tone and they're always angry. It's not because they are angry actually. It's just because maybe it's a possibility at their home this was the only form of communication. People interacted like that only. So it's what you observe when children are young. They throw tantrums, and they will be really not outrageous. They are like, they really need to be listened immediately. So when that happens is because maybe they are hungry and they need the attention of the caregivers. But by the time they reach 9 years or 10 years, that tantrum part's replaced itself and now they are more verbal. So once they are verbal, then it becomes that they are no more throwing tantrums, like, just lying down on the floor, throwing stuff around. Then it becomes they are more angry about the routine thing that is being told to them, which includes the habit part. And that could also be when we grow up as adults, when we have to do the habitual things that, we have to keep things in a proper place, or at least keep the plate after eating in the kitchen, or do something which is like a routine work and your work probably. And when we are reminded of it, then we may not like it. We don't want to be reminded of our own chores. So at that time, we may express ourselves by verbally, in verbal way. I can do it. We raise our voice. We show and express the displeasure part. Once we grow adults then we start having our own framework of mind. We want to voice out our own likes and dislikes. So when that happens, it is again, we feel angry because there is a clash. The adults have their experience, so they are sharing. The youth, they have their own mode of, getting information, and they are most of the time they are right from their perspective. It's just the way of communication that is mismatched. So at that point of time, the adults and the kids, they should form some groundwork that, okay, there should be some way of communication which is not a heated form. We should appreciate each other's also and listen to each other. It's fine and okay. So when we talk about children and when they are angry, the first thing we should keep in mind is their diet plan. Have they eaten the food at the right time? Are they well fed? That is the most important thing, and that works also for the adults. The word that is there for angry people is hangry, HANGRY, and it's a proper word. You can Google up, and it is a word wherein the person is angry because of hunger. You may be hungry, and that is why you are getting angry at small things, like you never listened. Really, the other person is never listening. It's just that you are too generalizing things in your life, so you get angry. Just monitor your diet part. You should not be hangry. Same goes for the children. They should not be hangry. The other reason that the children could be angry is because they look up to the adults, and what they say, that communication is not in sync when they are demonstrating between themselves, like the grown-ups. They fight for small things, but the message they are sending to the children in word is, we should not fight with the siblings, we should not raise our voice. So there is a contradiction between the message sent that can make children confused and therefore angry. The other reason also could be if they have their the work that they need to be done for the school or something, if it's not done on time, and now they are really fear part is there. They are fearful about the submission of the assignment. They have not shared it with the parents, so the fear of getting scolded, so that adds on to the pressure of the child, and they get angry, they get upset, and they may have psychosomatic symptoms. They may have pain and aches which may otherwise not be there. It's just because of the fear part. So the parents should take care of the homework part. They should check the child diary and the work given and make it easy for them, and therefore they will not get angry. So maybe they are also having real pain somewhere, so regular checkup with the doctor can help you to identify if there is any ailment. And if the child is not eating proper diet, a lot of junk, something that would also lead to anger. So these are the few things that may be there for the anger, and it could lead you to rectify it by proper addressing, and you can address it in a way wherein the child learns healthy way of expressing their emotions. Same goes for the adults, but in various degrees. So that's all for the day, and I hope this is beneficial in some way or the other. Do comment or send me a message if at all you want to ask about something. I was waiting for Oneza, and she just came and disappeared because she had something to say. I will see if she can come in. I don't know where she is. Okay, here it is. Hi, Oneza. Hi, good evening. She has some network issue, I guess.
Hello, ma'am.
Hello, how are you?
I'm fine, ma'am.
Thank you for joining in. And
I was waiting. I was waiting for you to
Thank you
finish
so
up
much.
the talk.
Okay. What do you have to say about anger?
Um, Anger is an emotion, as you said, like people use it mostly by expressing the negative things. Uh, I don't think so. Before this, I have seen any positive perspective of anger. Uh, Till now, this is what you said. Then only I understood, okay, anger can be looked in a positive way also. But most of the time I have seen people just expressing anger in negative terms. Either they shout, or it's mostly harmful, nothing like a soft thing, or nobody is very cool or calm with anger. Like, there's no communication when people are angry. One is shouting and the other is just suppressed. This is what I have observed, and I have always seen the negative side of the anger. So as you said, we have to put ourselves into, we have to train ourselves to be so good that we need to pause and look, channelize our anger in a positive way. I had one more
True.
question. If you
You have rightly said.
uh,
Yeah, please.
Am I audible?
Yes, you're audible, audible. Yeah.
Ma'am, I have a question on anger. Can I go ahead with the
Yes, please.
question?
Yeah, 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 please. Uh, you may
Some
ask.
glitch. Just a minute.
Mhm. Till we get the connection right, yeah, as Uneza has rightly said, we have always looked
Ma'am, I
in.
can't hear you.
Um, can you hear me now? Your this thing is, I mean, it's the buffering. Your video. Okay, till Uneza's connection gets stable. She has rightly said that we have always looked anger as a negative emotion because that's what we have always been, exposed to. And it's not easy to relate anger otherwise because we always see anger as an expressive emotion wherein we want to say something or the other. My take is again, if you listen back later on, you will see that from now on, whatever has happened. From now, today onwards, just pause and monitor your anger. If you have anger, see how beautifully you can, benefit out of it. I have told some positive points of anger. See if you can relate to it and use it for yourself. Uneza, if you can again send the request, I will add you if your connection is stable. Okay, I again add her. I've again added her, so you may benefit out of it. Please listen to the video, and Uneza has said a very relevant and practical point that yes, this is what we have always grown up and seen in the society, in on the social media or wherever we read. We may also see it is benefiting, but we don't know how it's going to benefit us. Now I have already told you few points how it will benefit. So from today, start taking the benefit out of it because it's a normal emotion. We don't need to um, express anger at a cost. Life is amazing, and we don't know why we are not getting connected. She isn't able to join. I don't know why it is. Okay, here she is. Hi, welcome back.
Thank you, ma'am. I'm really very sorry. This network
No,
always.
it's okay. I understand. That is very normal.
Um,
Okay, you were saying something.
Ma'am, I was asking, we see people angry. This anger emotion, is it associated with other emotions also very deeply in a negative way?
Other emotions like
Ma'am, did you get my question?
I got your question. I just wanted to know which other emotion are you connecting it with? You asked me, you asked me if anger is connected with other emotions deeply inside
Ma'am,
in
can you
negative
repeat?
way.
Yeah,
If
exactly. That is what my question.
Yeah, so which other emotion are you talking about?
Ma'am, people cry when they get angry. One thing,
Okay.
emotion of sadness. So people have
Mm-hmm.
associated with sadness, and also jealousy and envy. It triggers anger, or vice versa. Anger
Okay.
triggers jealousy. So I
Okay.
wanted to ask more.
Okay. As I had earlier also said, anger is only an expressive term. It's an emotion wherein it is quick to express physically. It's it's very target oriented. As I had mentioned, why not target it for ourselves in a positive way? But here it is, yes, if we look deep down, anger has the trigger sources lying elsewhere. The simplest is if you are angry, like I just said, it could be hangry part. It could be your hunger part only. You're hungry and the way you are expressing is it your anger part. So the root is somewhere else. So the trigger is somewhere else. This is a very good and very valid question. And it is very, very common also that people are inside when they look, when that angry moment weans off, they are hurt somewhere. There is pain, there is sadness inside. And all that is because of some issue in their life. It is quite possible that yes, anger is related to other emotions. We are human beings. We cannot feel or experience single emotion at one particular time. Simultaneously, some other emotion will also be playing a role. Maybe not in the form of that expressive mode, but yes, it's there inside. So when we are angry because of other things. What is actually anger? We are happy because something happened, right? We have a reason, we have some triggering, let's say, facts for our own self. Each individual have different set of facts for themselves, their own trigger set for themselves, which makes them happy, which makes them angry, again, which makes them jealousy. Jealousy is because of jealousy and because of being jealous, you may be upset, which is another element of anger, you know, but you're not angry actually. You're upset here because you're comparing yourself. That comparison part is there. That could be the area of your own trigger set. You have that big toolbox for yourself full of your own triggers. Now, what is it that you are getting affected at that point of time is purely for you, your own self. No person can have the same set of journey, same set of emotions, same set of reactions. So anger, when we are talking, and as Uneza has asked such a good question, that yes, it is related to other emotions also. That is why I completely, say with firmness and reiteration, but that please, from today, if you have that anger element in yourself, sit down with pen and paper, write down all your trigger points. It could be from the past. See, the pain is not that currently is happening right now. The pain has already set in somewhere down the line in your life. That is why you are feeling angry. Like I said, Beren, you did not have space to express. You were angry. You had that resentment part from since your childhood. You did not get the opportunity to say what you wanted to say. You were always snubbed off. So that resentment is there, that pain is there of not being listened, not getting that care part. So that is missing in life. So you start getting angry because now it's getting manifested in your personality. That is why when you are angry, it also gives a clue about your own personality. Why are you getting angry about something which has already happened in the past? So you have to reset, realign your own emotional part. Is fear and anger also associated? Fear, we get angry because of some fear, because of some pain also, or it could also be because you are frustrated or you are displeased or you have some resentment from the past. Because, in anger, what happens is it's related to that flight and fight and freeze mode, wherein at times you will fight for your rights, or you can run away and, maybe internalize your anger, or you may just freeze at that moment and you submit. But internally, you are just in rage, maybe, and maybe you will show it in some other form. Some people, like in sibling, when they fight, they may not say it at that point of time. After an hour, you'll see the cupboard all upside down. It's the way they are expressing it. It shows the displeasure part in them. So that has to be realigned and readjusted. We as adults, we don't have anyone around when we start growing up. We are expected to, take care of ourselves itself. When at home your parents get angry at you, it also shows that they care about you, because as I had given an example, that if it's a habitual thing and you are at the still in touch with the house, but you've not gone into your workplace part, and then you are not doing that, you're being told to do something, and nobody likes to be told all the time. So again, you start getting irritated. Irritation is also an element of anger. The fear part of losing somebody, you may get angry. The fear part of again getting scolding, you may get angry as the child gets angry, and tries to show their anger part, again hiding the true feeling of fear part. So yes, fear and anger is associated. They are deeply associated. That is why you need to find out, what are you fearful about? Is it about the future? Is it about that? Because when you are in a conversation with your friends and all, sometimes when you can't win a conversation, that's the ego playing at that point of time. So fear of losing yourself, that is a feeling, and that is not a very healthy feeling, because you may lose your friends eventually. They may not want to, have a conversation with you, because you end up getting angry, and then that's it. Then everyone is trying to pacify you. So that's not a very healthy scenario in the long run. Sometimes it's fine, but not in a long run, like, anything else. So yes, anger is associated. What exactly should we see? When exactly should we see a therapist because of anger element? See, anger, again, if we are manifesting our anger, or if we are having unhealthy coping techniques to tackle our anger issue, then we should consult a therapist, take 2-3 sessions, move on in life. Or it is also possible that you have some relative or a friend who is, you know, very good to you and listens to you in a non-judgmental way, and you are not, you're very comfortable with that person, and they give you the right and absolutely the truth part of you, and don't sugarcoat the answers. Sometimes you need the raw data for yourself. So it's like probably like out of anger, you're feeling very angry, you end up overeating. That is one way that is not healthy. Second is you absolutely give up on eating because you're angry. Your parents have said something, you will take out anger on food. You will not eat food. So that is not, the food has not done anything. That is there, and it's a blessing for you. So do not get away from that blessing, but eat the food, address the issue why you got angry. Sometimes children do that. When they are angry, they will not eat. So it's like the extreme, both ways, doing excessive exercise because you're angry, you're burning, with that rage part because it has escalated to that level. It could be with the parents, it could be with the colleagues, with the boss, with friends, with neighbors, with anyone else. It could also be with you yourself because you are not able to deal with the situation. So it can be internalized or verbally it can be externalized. So it's like you have to take a note with your own personality part. And also if you start smoking, some people start smoking out of anger because they find, okay, this is a solution part, which is not. And or start consuming any alcohol or drug part because they feel that, okay, this is the solution part. This is absolutely, again, not a healthy way. You have a purpose in life, you have talent, you have a target and a goal in your life. You should aim for it with that much of enthusiasm. You all have great abilities and capabilities. Go for it. Channelize your anger from today. Find healthy substitute for yourself. That is when you should be looking out for a therapist because you're not able to process it in a healthy way. There are people who are always angry and they are unaware of this behavior. How can we help them or bring that behavior to their notice? Firstly, who are these people? If they are somebody at your home, then it's like you need to find out what are their triggering points. It could be because of something done by someone else and that triggers to them. And also it's like, actually when anyone gets angry, they know that they are angry. So when they are in a cool mode, try to listen to them, what is their perspective, what they want from other people, because they may be going through a financial stress part, they may be going through a career stress part, their boss must have said something, and when at home they came, that habitual, telltale thing happening at home, you did not do this. So if that happens suddenly also, it adds on to the trigger and the stress part. So if it's a working person, then firstly, when the person comes in, so those who are at home, they should not actually say immediately anything which has no or you have not or don't, sentences with those words. Just give space to that person who has come back from work. They need some time out. And also this is for the person who is coming from their work, they know that their family will be waiting for them. They know that their children will be waiting for them. So they should also replenish themselves. They should just drink maybe, a juice, or they can have a sandwich before reaching home, because they also need that much of energy to match the enthusiasm if they have young kids at home, because the kids have been waiting all day to meet their father or to meet their mother. So that energy, let's say energy drink, as we say, so that energy enthusiasm drink should be there with the adult. So make a note of that also, that if people at home, they should do this, give some space and make the room a little clean when it's time to come. There should be less noise because they're coming from outside. So all this will help, to have a very good environment at home. And there should be a communication. I hope this answers your question. Because this will then ease down, we need to understand each other, what is actually happening in each other's life. Everyone will notice when, the triggers and stressors will come down from the other end, they also will start responding appropriately and not get so much angry. Like, they will not be in so much of anger. Right? Any other question? Thank you. You want to join in again? You want to ask anything else before we wind up? There is a video on YouTube on my channel. It's about parenting, and in that, this part is addressed. The communication or interaction of parent with children, and what message they should be sending to each other. How to build that up? It's there in that video. It was done in February in Kuwait. Like I was speaking over there on parenting. Can anger be caused by suppressed feelings? Yes. The very example that when some kids, they are young and they don't have the voice, let's say at home whatsoever, then it could be, that suppressed feeling is there. When they find the opportunity to say something, they will say it in anger. They would like to come up and say, oh, this is what I am feeling, or they may criticize a lot. That all is element of anger only, which is suppressed. Because again, anger is not something which can be negated by just saying, oh, this person is angry. There has to be some reason for that person to be angry. The suppressed feeling can be one of the reasons. Besides fear, frustration, not having an opportunity to say something, respect, ego, and it's I, me, myself attitude. There could be pain, frustration, irritation. All these things will lead to anger. With that, I would like to end the session. It's been almost an hour, and anyone who will be listening, they will lose their interest also. By the time they'll reach halfway through. So that's it for the day. Probably I'll come up again with another topic soon. Tomorrow or the after tomorrow, I will put the word for anger. I just mentioned it's there in the Merriam-Webster dictionary. Thank you. Take care. Good night. Have a great weekend. Bye.